What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to the Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 53 this week. I'm Fox2. Today we're here with Pirate
Hey guys.
and the whole effing Brian.
Yo!
We missed you, Brian.
I know I've been away working because I'm a responsible adult, kind of.
That's totally overrated. It's totally
Yeah.
Are
overrated.
you still
Overrated.
working at the corn dog stand?
Yeah. Don't tell
Slanging
anybody,
them-
but I
slanging them wieners.
don't ask where those corn dogs been before they go to your mouth.
Brian's corn dog stand. The slogan
Yeah.
is putting my,
Well, they
meat in your
say-
putting my meat in your mouth since the early 80s.
Well, you know, corn never breaks down in your body.
Neither does Brian's dogs.
Neither does Brian's wiener. Oh god, we are off to a hell of a start already. All right, let's jump right in. Let's talk about some comic book stuff before we get to the ridiculous humor that I feel like this episode is gonna eventually devolve into. What you been reading, Pirate?
Nothing.
Nothing. Fair enough.
I haven't
understand.
read jack shit fucking all week with the holiday and fucking bullshit like that. Fucking hasn't really been much reading going on.
Right on. What about you, Brian? You been reading anything?
Actually, no. Instead
Damn,
of
it's gonna
reading,
be a short section.
instead of reading this week, me and my friend picked up that game Disney Infinity, the Marvel edition, where you buy little characters and play
Oh yeah, how is it?
on the pad. It's pretty kiddie.
You're like, it's pretty terrible.
But-
actually,
Those little figures that you place on the base to unlock are pretty like cool. Even though they're
I've seen
cartoony, they're
I've
pretty
seen the,
cool looking.
Yeah, I've seen
Are those like
the little
those
figures at
Amiibo?
Walmart and shit.
Yeah.
Are those
What?
like those like amiibo figures that you use for like a DS or something?
Yeah, they look like those.
Dude,
a
I've
little bit
seen
bigger.
people use those. Like, I guess there was a video in Russia. People are able to program them to use on the subway and shit as like paid because they have the same like NFS chip that like you can like scan swipe pay.
We
and
do
shit.
not promote anything to like that. Just
I was
Yeah,
like, that's pretty
especially in
fucking
Russia.
impressive. I'm gonna pull a fucking link out of my pants, dude, and start fucking charging everything to it.
all right.
But it's pretty fun. I mean, the whole like missions and stuff are kiddie, like they're simple, but you could set your character's skill tree and obtain like skill points and stuff like that, and it's just like we bought it. I don't have a PS3 anymore because mine broke, so like I bought some guys for his, and you got the little, each mission is different, the characters are different, certain ones could play in certain games, like the Avengers. Some of the Spider-Man characters can't cross over the Avengers and so on, but it's pretty fun. I mean, we had a good
No, wait a
time.
minute, this isn't like this is a figure game. Like, this is like a board game, right?
No, it's a video game.
It's a video game.
You buy the pack. He bought the Avengers starter kit, and it comes with the base where you put the figures on, and it comes with 3 characters, and each character has their own thing programmed into the base of the disc. So when you put it on the pad, it reads the character. So we bought a shitload of these little figures. Well, they look more like statues, but like they're like cheap plastic, but they're done real nice. And you put them on, and they'll load up into the game. And each game is in a little plastic piece. Like Avengers, it's a little plastic piece that looks like Avengers Tower. You put it on the base, and it reads the game, and the Avengers missions and stuff pop up. And then you have like the starter pack came with Thor, Black Widow, and Iron Man, and you just place them on, and it reads what character you're putting on, and it brings them into the game, and you just do little missions, kind of like what game can I?
Is it like kind of like Lego a little bit?
Yeah, it's like Lego.
Okay.
It's the same kind of concept as Lego
All
and
right,
stuff
I got
like
you.
that.
That's cool. That sounds
And
pretty
like
neat,
we
though.
bought a shitload of the characters. I mean, there's everybody from like the cartoons that are on TV right now, like Avengers Assemble on Disney and
Oh, yeah,
Ultimate
yeah,
Spider-Man.
I
So it's
got you.
roughly those characters.
I got you.
and some of like 2 or 3 could cross over to each like game, like Spider-Man or the Avengers or the Guardians, and it was just like it's just mindless fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's how the Lego games are too. I really like those
yeah,
Lego games. I want to get the Lego Batman,
yeah, I heard there's a lot of
the new Lego
fun
Batman
characters
that's
in
out. Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Lego Batman 3.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It
Yeah.
looks pretty good. Go ahead.
But yeah, Target was having a sale that each character was $10, so we just fucking bought a shitload of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
We let's see. So as far as reading goes, we as a group didn't accomplish much. I, on the other hand, read a boatload. I finished Civil War. I don't know if I told you guys that yet. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's an awesome. That was
That's
like
just
one of my favorite crossovers from Marvel.
Hands down my favorite Marvel crossover that I've read so far. It's amazing. Let's see, what else did I read? I started back on getting some of the current stuff. I've been trying to get caught up on the Green Lantern crossover event, the Godhead stuff.
Mhm.
I'm really liking that a lot. Just the way that they're almost seamlessly going from title to title without really making it feel like you know how if in some of the like Forever Evil crossover titles you couldn't even really tell that it was part of the Forever Evil series. You know,
Yeah.
it was so out there on the fringe that it just didn't. It definitely didn't fit right into the into the meat of the story. But even though they're going from title to title, you know, Green Lantern to Red Lanterns to Sinestro to, you know, down the line, it's, you know, Green Lantern Corps. I can't even think of what the other one was that's been out. There's been a handful of them, but my point is that it really feels like the way that they're writing the story is that the main storyline is going already, and whatever title just kind of follows the story, if that makes sense. So you're never picking up a title with the Godhead title on it that says, you know, it says Godhead across the top, and then like it's some fucking super side story that almost has no relation whatsoever.
Yeah, like they all flow together in
Yeah,
one
they
current
really
like wave.
it really, like, if you read them one after another, it really reads like it was just one book written. It doesn't read like, okay, right now we're fucking talking about the Justice League, hard break. Now we're talking about Constantine, hard break. Now we're talking about Trinity of Sin, hard break. Now we're talking about motherfucking the Batman universe over here. Like, Forever Evil was awesome, but it was really fucking herky-jerky when you were trying to read the tie-ins and stuff. And I don't get that feeling at all from this Godhead thing. I'm really loving it. Let's see, Batman Eternal still going on. It's awesome. If you haven't read Batman Eternal, now would be a great time to get into it. It's far enough into the story that you can read a ton of books, and it's really getting into the meat and potatoes of the story. Yeah.
For people that don't know this, they just released the first, not hard, I guess, trade paperback
for
which
Batman
is the
Eternal.
first 21 issues. It is thick.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What are they
That's a
charging
good
for that?
trade.
Do you know?
No, not off the top
I'm
of my
sure it's
head.
a pretty penny, but
It's probably like 24.
I bet it's more than that. I bet it's like 35
Yeah.
or so, 35 or 40. But anyway, regardless, I'm saying it's probably worth that $35 amount because it's a really good storyline, and it incorporates so many characters that some of which you probably have never even heard of, but
Some of which are new.
some of which are new.
Yeah, they've brought a lot of stuff out that hasn't been.
Yeah, but the way that they're doing it is, it's not like you don't get the feeling that they're doing it just to do it. You know how sometimes you'll read a comic or whatever, and it'll be like, well, they're incorporating this character just to fucking say that they incorporated him. There's no like real merit to the storyline to have this person here. I don't get that feeling when I read the Batman Eternal. It really gives kind of a depth of character for everybody involved for the little piece that they play in the story. It's really good. Trying to think. Shit, I read some other stuff too. I can't remember off the top of my head what all it was. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to sit here and think over it for too long. Yeah, so let's I guess that's a really well, Chris isn't here. So that's part of why what we've been reading is kind of short. So let's talk about news. Let's jump right in and talk about the Walking Dead mid-season finale. Okay, now this is
spoiler alert.
Yeah, we'll do spoiler alert. We're gonna try not to spoil on the show, but mid-season finale happened this past Sunday. So yesterday, as we're recording this episode, AMC's social media actually spoiled this for most of the viewers. As soon as it was finished airing on the East Coast, they posted something to their social media, Facebook, you guys said?
Yeah.
And Twitter. Facebook. They posted a picture and with a tagline that was very descriptive, we'll say. I'll go as far as to say that it was rest in peace, a person. And this is a fairly major character. This is a major, I would consider this to be a major death. I'm pretty far behind in Walking Dead, like a season probably behind. But I would still consider, at least at my point even in viewing, I would say this is a major character. What do you guys, did you guys watch it?
I watched it. It was a pretty good episode. I mean, the episode took off like nothing was going to go wrong. Everything was working out, and then that scene happened. It was just like, bam.
I also feel that scene, when that happened, I felt that most of the episodes for this season were like a waste. Like, I felt like, I mean, the episode, it was good, but I felt that it was unjust done. Like, I don't think they needed to do that in the show. I don't think that it needed to be wrote in there the way it was. And the fact that it was so nothing for what I'm trying to say without actually saying it, I'm trying to like.
All right, big time spoiler alert. Big time. If you are a diehard Walking Dead fan and you have not seen the mid-season finale yet, skip forward like 10 minutes just to be safe. We're about to talk about some shit you probably might not want to hear, but we're going to drop it like it's hot. Let it have it, Pirate.
So the whole episode going up until, we got Beth is in the hospital and she's, they're patching her up with these whole like doctors and, the wards kind of like keeping the police keeping the doctor or the wards there. And then there's this whole turmoil, unrest between all the police officers in the hospital. And then they go in there to get Beth out, and Carol's there. And you think that, there might be some type of thing going on with, like, Carol's going to fight her way out or something, no, which they end up trading them off for the two cops that they get. But then all of a sudden, they make the trade, everything goes fine, the cop says some shit, and then Beth stabs the cop with a pair of scissors in the arm, and next thing you know, the back of her head comes off. And the cop's standing there with a gun like, wait, and then Daryl smokes the cop, and that's it. And then Rick's like, whoever else wants to go can go. Like, what?
She almost sacrificed. Do you remember the show Everybody Hates Chris?
No.
Doug?
No.
Okay, well, the main character who's supposed to be Chris Rock, younger, it's supposed to be it was his show and he wrote it. based on
I think I vaguely remember this.
Yeah. Well, that the lead actor in that who played like Chris Rock's part is Noah, is a dude named Noah that Beth met and helped escape from this hospital. And like the leading up to Beth getting her brains blown out. Sorry, I have to be upfront about it for those of you who are like, no, Beth got shot in the head. How can you be so mean? The cop was like, when they traded off for Carol and Beth for two of their cops Rick had, they're like, no, Noah comes with us, and Noah's like, no, it's fine, I'll go with them, so there's no problems. That's when Beth like stepped up and stabbed her, and then she blew her brains out. But people are saying that Beth just was like, no, Noah needs to be free, and like basically sacrificed herself, knowing something was going to happen to her when she stabbed the lead chick cop.
I don't know. I have not seen it yet. But on a side note to this, which I feel it's pretty relevant. How do you guys feel about the whole mid-season finale thing?
I hate that. I hate waiting.
This is a really relatively new thing.
They take their breaks for like Walking Dead does it longer than say Arrow, but Arrow usually comes back like towards the end of January. But Walking Dead last year, because of the Olympics this year, I should say, because the Olympics came back in like almost March. Now it's coming back February 8th, but like I hate it. Like there's nothing to do for those months that it's gone for. It's like
every show.
I don't know. Is it a strategic number rating thing that everybody takes a break?
I have a feeling that it has something to do with the holidays. People are going to be busier on a lot of nights, B, watching holiday movies with their families, and C, you got the Super Bowl in there.
I think
too.
A lot of it too has to do with the actors wanting to break also more now.
Yeah.
Because they don't shoot it like, they haven't shot a lot of the second half yet.
No, they're probably halfway through. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think the actors get kind of like a holiday break too.
Yeah, it's just delayed for the show. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. That's probably what it is, or part of it anyway.
Because none of this really ever happened until after that whole Actors Guild strike that they had, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what the term. Maybe
that was actually Writers Guild. That was the writers.
The Writers Guild. Okay, that's right. Yes, I don't know.
The other thing that I wanted to say something about, you were saying, Pirate, and again, I haven't seen this, and I'm pretty far behind, so this is all kind of like just my take on it. You were saying that you didn't feel like, we're going to avoid using names now so that we're out of the spoiler section, just as a blanket statement. But you said that you felt like that death didn't need to happen. Or maybe at least the way that it happened, or at all, as it pertains to the storyline as it was developing. I feel like that could be the writing staff for Walking Dead trying to be a little more like Game of Thrones, because part of what makes Game of Thrones so fucking successful is the fact that motherfucker, they'll kill anybody off.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. And they set that precedent early.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how early was it that Ned Stark got killed out? Like first couple episodes?
No, it was season finale of first episode. Ned Stark got his head chopped off.
Was it the very end? Well, regardless.
Yeah, I think it was the last.
Regardless, you didn't even make it through. You didn't even make it through one whole season without them killing off like basically the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and they've gone with that. It works for them because I think what really that's not the only thing. Obviously, it's a great story and there's a lot more to it, but I think part of what really drives you to, as a viewer, to want to watch from week to week is because you have no fucking idea what's going to happen. There's no way you know who's going to die. Your favorite person might die this week. He might die next week. There might be 7 people that die between now and then.
Well, I get that, but I think it works for Game of Thrones. I don't think because there's so many different families and clans and areas of effect that like it works with Game of Thrones because where one big star in one group or one family or one house might die, you still have all these other things going on all over the world. Walking Dead is a more isolated group of characters. You know what I mean? When you kill a character off that's been around, especially since season 2, you would think, you know what I mean, that they would have, especially when you put as many episodes. I mean, like the moment she disappeared at the end of the last season, everybody's like, what's going to happen to Beth? You know what I mean? There's this huge buildup, and I think the way it happened was just very anticlimactic.
You got to think though, like from a rate. If you step back and look at this from a rating standpoint, if you look back at like season 3, okay, as that shit was building up, and then you found out basically like at the end of one episode that Daryl was going to have to fight Merle. That dude, motherfuckers were like flying off the.
That was a good ending. But that worked. That didn't. I mean, there was a big fight scene.
I'm just saying, like,
there was no fight scene. There was no like
the death of a fucking major character. They were able to just suck motherfuckers in.
Right, but there was none of that. They could have went that route.
I see. You don't feel like they built it up to anything.
I felt like it was all this, like, like you think there's going to be a shootout, or you think, they're going to go to war with the cops, and Beth or Carol's in there now, so Beth and Carol may fight their way out. It just was very. I mean, the only thing that I took away best from that episode was we're starting to see the old Rick again, where he got to the point where he just didn't give a fuck anymore.
Just no fucks to give.
And like he killed Shane, like because that's what he had to do.
Yeah.
He started like then I think it was season 3 or 4. All he wanted to do was be a farmer and provide for everybody, and he didn't want to kill anybody. I mean, in the last episode, he killed the cop. Like the cop wouldn't stop running, so he just ran him over with the car.
Oh yeah, that was Sitwell. That was Agent Sitwell.
Yeah, and it was so crazy because like the way the camera panned while Rick's in the car, you see the dude's family and kids and shit, and Rick's driving the car, like he sees a picture of his family, and fucking he just macks him, and the dude's got his hands tied behind his back, and Rick's like tells him like all you had to do was stop, and then he shoots him in the fucking head. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to see that
he's just done playing.
That really like he's starting to get back at that breaking point where he's like, it's not about the being of anybody. It's about fucking, you hurt my flock, I'm doing you in type thing, period.
I gotcha. Well, let's.
But but that was like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Other than that, the rest of it was just so anticlimactic. I was just like, I was kind of bummed. I mean, it was a good episode, but
I feel you. Let's change gears a little bit and let's talk about Star Wars for a second. Let's talk about Star Wars: The Force Awakens trailer. If you have not seen this trailer yet, pause this video, go watch that, and then come right back.
And shame on you.
And shame on you. Yes, if you are a diehard comic book Nerd Nation fan, then you gotta love you some Star Wars. I'm just saying, you gotta love some Star Wars.
And if you don't, I'm gonna personally come to your house and just kick you down the stairs.
Yeah, if you don't like this fucking trailer, you obviously thought Phantom Menace is the best Star Wars. So you're
in that case, I will kick you off Mount Rushmore.
You'll still get Brian's still gonna kick you in the nuts.
This trailer looks amazing. I mean, it
feels like Star Wars.
You know what it does? It feels like. Do you remember watching Star Trek? Not the old Star Trek. I love Star Trek too. Don't get me wrong. I love some Star Trek. But do you remember watching the first remake of Star Trek?
J.J. Abrams Star Trek, which is J.J. Abrams Star Wars.
Yes. It looks and feels like they're giving it that treatment where they're adding this sense of realism. Like they're fucking making it real, like it's a fucking action movie, not just a sci-fi movie. You know, I love the old Star Wars movies, but you go back and you watch those just because of technology and stuff mainly. You go back and watch those, and it's a very, very sci-fi feel. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want any internet warriors out there hating the fuck out of me because I'm talking down about the original Star Wars movie. And that's right. I'm calling it Star Wars, not A New Hope, because the title of that movie is Star Wars. Let's get that.
Yeah.
Let's just set that bar right now.
Word.
But
The thing. Whoa. Finish.
What I'm saying is that this trailer has a feel to it that makes it if they do this movie right, it makes it seem like when you're watching it, it's gonna suck you in and make you believe that this shit is possible. Not that this is some far away, you know, definitely could never happen, but they're wanting to add a level of grit and realness to this film that I think is gonna make this film spectacular.
Is if fucking J.J. Abrams does not do this film good. Like, yeah, the trailer's good.
Motherfuckers will be after him.
No, he will forever be known as Jar Jar Abrams.
Oh,
Fucking him.
That's harsh.
That was, man. That's some heavy words right there in the Star Wars community.
I mean, you can't fuck that up. Like it's.
I mean, what'd you think? Okay, well, okay. After
You know
having
what,
said that, what do you think of the trailer?
My first impression, okay, when the stormtrooper pops up, and he's like in the desert, and all I could think of was Spaceballs, with the fucking the trooper out there combing the desert, and he's like, man, we ain't doing shit.
Well, also that's the first scene not the first scene in The New Hope, but
that's not the name of the movie.
In The New Hope, because for those who aren't Star Wars enthusiasts, A New Hope, that's what they know as. Even though in the beginning, when the movies first came out, it was Star Wars.
Thank you for
There was
clarifying.
no number to it yet. That didn't come until he re-released them, the numbers.
Mhm.
I like how Brian's taking a step back from what his original point was and like elaborating just to clarify so that he can get some of his street cred out there for Star Wars
But
right now.
when they first arrive on Tatooine, the scene with the when you see the stormtroopers for the first
Right.
time, that's the first thing when they're combing the desert, the crash site.
Right.
That's the first thing you see. You see the stormtrooper pop up, and then it pans, and you see the rest of the stormtroopers. So it's kind of that. We know that this
Little
is
reminiscent feeling.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the first scene though. The first scene is
Well,
on the
no, that's
fucking-
why I corrected myself. The first
okay.
scene was the
the Imperial
Star
Cruiser.
Destroyer chasing the Rebel blockade runner.
Yeah.
But
Corellian
but-
Corvette.
yeah, no, that's not the Corellian
Yeah,
Corvette.
it is. Don't you?
Isn't the
argue with
Corellian-
me. Don't you argue with me, that motherfucker?
Fox actually pulled that card on me one time, and I was like, we argued with it, and then he dropped the hammer, and I was like, fuck you.
Damn,
I
don't
thought
you
the-
even try and go there, man.
Corellian Corvette was a land speeder.
Nah, if you look at the Corellian Corvette spaceship on the front, and I'm about to flex nuts on my nerd card right now, but if you look at the Corellian Corvette spaceship, like if you Google an image of it, the front of it is actually modeled after an Indy car. The front of it, like if you take the big ass engines off the back, looks like an Indianapolis race car.
Oh yeah, with the two
That's real
fins
talk.
coming out. Yeah. But as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying now. Shit.
That's right.
But
I just crushed
but in
your
this
spirit.
one, it's what's I forgot the actor's name. That is John Boyega. As soon as like he pops up, and it's a different feel. Like a lot of people, if you watch other videos on like people, YouTubers talking about how they feel about, this. In this scene, everybody's like, all right, he has no helmet on.
It doesn't mean
So
he's
is he
actually
dressed up?
Either.
No, well, I think, and I agree with some other videos I watched, that he may be an actual stormtrooper that goes to the light side because he's force sensitive. Because if you look at that armor, it's nice and snug on him. It's not like Han and Luke when they had the armor on, how it was all loose and dangling as they're running.
I thought the stormtroopers were clones of
Mm.
Django.
At
No.
first, but not.
Yes.
Not going forward.
When the Empire rose,
Then they took recruits.
they took recruits because they realized that, some of the clone troopers were rebelling and fighting the other clones and stuff like that.
But
So
isn't this not? This is all in the book stuff, and I thought that the book stuff
No,
was
dude,
not being
no.
used.
The book stuff is completely. They came out and said the book stuff is completely not canon anymore.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my point.
Nothing.
No,
They all
the book's
derivative-
not canon from after.
From
there's
after Return of Jedi.
Yeah, after Return of the Jedi, all those books are non-canon anymore.
Right, and that was
But-
covered in the books up to Return of the Jedi. Pirates.
Yeah, that they
Oh,
switched
okay.
from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
clones to recruit. They started taking recruits.
Because my Star Wars knowledge is only
Film based.
hearsay and film based. Like
I
I
feel you.
never read the books.
It's
Now, what
also
about the lightsaber?
that's the one part that had me like, okay,
I think
it looks
that's
like a
Luke.
medieval sword, right?
I think it looks like a Bastard or Claymore or whatever, but I think that might be Luke because he's got the dark cloak, and a lot of the footage the photos that leaked were Mark Hamill had the fucking cloak on.
Yeah, but he has a brown one on in the pictures.
No, he had we don't know if it's brown because it was a dark image,
No,
like
he's
a dark scene shot.
he's
And I heard rumors that he's
So you're
using
thinking that Luke goes to the dark side?
doesn't mean he goes to the dark side.
I
But
mean,
if
he's
you
using
remember
a
at the
red
end of
fucking
turn,
lightsaber.
doesn't mean he's dark though.
That's true.
I'm
no,
just
that's
saying.
not Luke. If you look at the image of the guy, I have it right now on IMDb. The guy is tall and slender, and supposedly, what's his name supposed to be playing him? Not Donald Glover. Oh, fuck, what's his name? Let me go back to the page. It's supposed to be on the.
Like if you fall like at the end of Return of the Jedi, Luke had that he wore black.
He had the black on.
You know what I mean? It was kind of
He
he
did.
kind of was a little more rougher about fucking his approach to the Force.
Adam Driver is supposed to be rumored to be the Sith guy.
So you think it's a Sith guy?
Yeah, I don't think it's Luke. I think Luke, if anything, he's going to be teaching these new Force-sensitive people on the light side about. He's going to be. He's going to be in. I think he's either going to be in like a Yoda setting, like a Dagobah,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to be. He's gonna be like these new Force-sensitive people that are going to be on the light side are going to end up looking for him.
Okay, so I just want to say this real quick. I was looking for a picture of that, that image where the guy like fucking busts out the lightsaber that looks like a
Yeah.
Claymore sword, and I just
IMDb has
I
it.
just found a meme that is really funny. I'm sorry, I have to read this to you. It's got the picture of him like hunched over, and he's got the fucking lightsaber all lit up with like the long regular blade and then the two short blades off the side, making it look like a big medieval two-handed sword type deal. And at the top it says, "Yo dog, I heard you like lightsabers." At the bottom, "So we put sabers in yo saber so you can saber while you saber."
I want to know what the whole point of that is. I mean, it looks like a medieval sword, but yet again, why not just put a hilt on it if those two mini
Right.
lightsabers
Like,
have a
well,
point?
Well,
If a lightsaber slides down the blade,
yeah, that's
it
Yeah, it stops it, yeah.
He's done lost his hand once.
Except
slipping
except for the fact that the fucking T, if you look at the thing, there's a big section where it's not like lightsaber, it's actually it's like the mechanical device.
The hilt.
Yeah, like the hilt actually goes out, so like if it slid down the blade to the corner, it would just slice right through that motherfucker. Like,
You know what?
I like where your head's at though.
In the future, that shit don't matter apparently.
If you also look at the lightsaber, it's not perfectly cylinder. It's like almost like a fire-esque, like angry.
I think that that's just how they're doing the visual effects of it now.
Yeah.
I don't think that's I think that's just how it's going to look with the
It-
the level of special effects that
far
you can
away.
do now. I think that they're gonna change the look of that, and I think the other area where you're gonna see a big change is gonna be in the starfighters battles, the lasers and the missiles.
Well, you
Well,
also saw.
Did you see the X-wings? How low they were to the ground?
I know that
Yeah,
was
that was
dirty.
pretty. That was
I've
an
never
awesome
I
shot.
didn't even know they could fucking go that low. Like and
Oh,
still
yeah.
fight. I mean, there's
How
been
low
no other
can you
video
go?
of them being like off the ground like that with X'd out.
I think it's sick. I like that fucking shot. I thought that was
Yeah,
probably-
that was an
that
awesome
was like
shot.
one of my favorite fucking parts of the whole trailer, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides seeing the Millennium Falcon, it's like,
Oh, the
that
Millennium
that was-
Falcon.
so
pretty
it's safe to say that some of this movie is going to be on Tatooine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would assume so, to some degree. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I'm sure that they're gonna put out at least one, maybe two more trailers.
Oh yeah, I mean we
Before
have a
the year-
whole
I mean, it's still a whole
whole
year.
year.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think there's gonna be a good bit more released before this movie comes out. While we're on the topic of trailers, let's talk about the Jurassic World trailer.
That was another. That was a not as awesome as fucking Star Wars because it's fucking Star Wars. I mean, fuck.
Right.
But that was a cool trailer.
Damn, I
I
cannot wait
liked
to
it.
see this movie. I never thought that I would be sitting here saying that I want to see another Jurassic Park movie, but that movie looks awesome. That movie looks really, really good.
My favorite two parts in that whole trailer was one, the scene with the giant alligator, like the SeaWorld scene,
Yeah,
and the very last scene where he's like, Chris Pratt's on the dirt bike, and he's got like attack raptors. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was every fucking little boy's dream, like having your own fucking raptors.
dude, he had like fucking a whole pack of them, and he's just like leading them, and like I'm like, what the fuck? He's got a hunting party for attack raptor. Like it's like he's got a bloodhound, but he's got an attack raptor. It's fucking awesome.
yeah. I can honestly say that is a movie that I am really interested in seeing. And what was the last one? Jurassic Park 3?
Yeah, that was
that
what
was
was
like
it?
in the city or something.
Wasn't that the one? No. That was
No, that was Jurassic.
Jurassic Park 3.
That was
the
Lost
one,
World.
Wasn't it the one where there was like the little gymnastics girl in it? I can't
I don't
remember
remember.
what the
No, that was two. Also, no, was that two? That was two. Also, I
I
think
always get
three
two
was
mixed up.
I mean,
William H Macy's kid went parasailing close to the island with his stepfather and got the parachute. The boat crashed and the parachute. Not the parachute. What is it called when you go off the
It's a
back of the
parachute.
boat?
Hang
The parasail. They're
Yeah.
parasailing
yeah,
and they got lost and they were like
that was number 2, right?
that was
no, number
three.
2 was Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
goes and his daughter hides in the fucking thing, like the fucking super trailer, and he only goes there to see if they've evolved and that survive without him.
Was there a
But-
4?
No, this is like basically four.
So,
All I remember is the last one I saw was terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
terrible. But this one looks really, really good. I'm
I
definitely
hate the
interested in
gerbil
seeing
balls
it.
they're in.
The what?
Those
The gerbil balls?
Yeah, that's right. They do look like gerbil balls. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
I was like watching that. I was like, are they in gerbil balls? And that's all I could think of was like when you get a hamster as a kid and you put them in those balls so they can
So
run
how
around.
are they going to explain this? Do you think? Like, are they going to just erase the history, like all of everything that happened bad at Jurassic Park? Or are
No,
they going to
it's-
explain it away?
I think it's the same. Like somebody showed a picture of the T-Rex, and they said it's the same T-Rex that was in the first one.
Yeah,
And
it's
he's got
20
all
years
the
later.
Scars, yeah.
It's the same like it's been 20 years since the last movie.
So
This is
somebody
20 years
was like-
later.
So the storyline is somebody was like, oh, you know what? That fucking catastrophic accident where those fucking things got loose, even though they had maximum security and killed all those people. Let's just open it up to the public anyway. That's the
Well, I
story they're
think-
trying to sell.
Yeah,
I'm-
they-
I'm-
Yeah, because
I
I
am
think
getting
they
opened-
less and
genetically
less
altered
interested
them.
as the seconds go by here.
I think
They
they did shit to like genetically engineer the dinosaur. Obviously, they engineer the hybrid, but I think
which worked out
Like-
great for them, clearly.
Right. I mean, obviously, well, you got to have some type of chaos thrown in there, but I think they make it to where, because obviously they've got the Raptors to be able to run. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
work
they've been
forward.
like his job, Chris Pratt's job, his background is like something with Velociraptors.
Yeah, because that's a huge fucking field apparently.
Hmm.
He's like the Velociraptor whisperer and shit.
I'm now
Yeah.
entering
Season
this.
Malone.
I'm now entering into this with
Well, the
some-
whole
some
plot of
serious
it-
skepticism.
Is like they opened up the park with no problem. Like they did it right and they were able to open up the park, but they started they made a dinosaur that was a hybrid. I've read it before. It's a hybrid of a T-Rex, a raptor, and cuttlefish. So if you notice in the
What?
trailer when
Are
there's
you
the
fucking
part-
shitting with me? Hold the
Yeah.
fuck on for a minute. That's
A
like you
cuttlefish.
just told, like, all right, we're gonna take the two meanest, angriest, fucking ferocious animals to ever walk the earth, and we're gonna fucking mix them with a Care Bear. Like,
Well, no,
what the
fuck? Cuttlefish. A cuttlefish is a type of like octopus, but it's supposedly the best camouflaged animal.
I don't give a fuck. The name
the world.
alone suggests that
know-
it's cuddly.
Did
Well,
you know
yeah,
octopus have
cuttlefish.
9 brains?
What?
So let's give all this dangerous shit 9 brains to
Yeah,
work
that's
with.
what I. Touche. 20 points for Pirate. We're not even playing a motherfucking game. He just won. Damn. All right, let's get off this topic before my blood pressure gets up. All right, let's talk about. Let's see here. How much time we got? Well, we can talk about. We can't talk much about it, but we can talk about the Flash and Arrow TV crossover that's coming up tomorrow, as we're recording this. Yesterday, as this is released.
But Arrow will be the tonight.
Tonight of
Like
as
this
this
is
is
released.
released. Yeah. Well, do we have anything to say about it that's new? I mean,
Well, the
everybody's kind of
title's
known that
Flash
this was coming for
versus
quite some
Arrow.
time.
Well, the title of the first episode is Brave and the Bold.
Ooh,
Okay, the second one then is the Flash versus Arrow.
The
right.
Flash versus Arrow.
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring this up.
You do that.
And at the last episode that we seen of Arrow, Boomerang shows up.
Yeah.
So, thinking that's going to be. Oh, and also Ray Palmer shows that he's got his Atom exoskeleton suit shows in a hologram. So, we don't know if the Atom is going to make his first appearance or what.
That sounds like something that's end of season, like.
Well, he's
season
got the
finale.
blueprints for it. You see it come up on
Well,
the.
this is the end of the first half.
This is mid-season finale material here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hate that shit.
And apparently at the end, I think, or no, maybe, I don't. It's the first episode of the second half. I think it's called the Man in the Yellow Suit.
The Arrow's episode is called Brave and the Bold.
Oh, okay.
Episode 8, which is today's episode. if
So
you
I guess
want
we're
to
gonna have to talk about this next week. This is gonna be something we're gonna definitely have to talk about.
Well, we'll have more to talk about.
Yeah, that's kind of let's table this. Let's table this until next week. We'll have more to talk about.
Flash versus Arrow is this
Is
Flash
the
episode.
Flash episode, okay.
And
Which
then
that's going to be the first one that since Tuesday.
episodes 9's called Man in the Yellow Suit,
Yeah, that's it.
which is about a banana.
I'm a banana.
I'm a banana. I'm a banana.
All right, let's. Okay, so here's something. I thought this would be kind of fun. Like, let me preface this section. We have a lot of random ass conversations when we're not on camera, when we're not on mic talking to you guys, our fans, our followers, that are just absolutely ridiculous. They're so much fun. We have, I mean, to the point where we're just busting up laughing in tears sometimes because of how funny the conversations end up being. And I really want to try and bring that to you guys somehow. So we thought that we would just talk about some random facts and just have a little discussion about it and see, just see where this shit goes. Just see where it takes us. Life
Usually
is a journey.
shit goes in my toilet.
I hope so, motherfucker. That'd be
Sometimes.
some dirty shit if you're like just walking over to the corner of your room, squatting down and dropping trowel right there. Like,
Pop a loaf in the fridge.
oh,
Oh god. Ew.
oh, could
Save
you
it for
imagine?
later, girl. Boys.
Ew. Ew.
Oh, that is just- That's
Slice
just
it like
foul.
a fucking pecan roll.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh.
Hand it out for
yes.
Christmas.
That is just
You imagine putting poop in a juicer?
What? I don't even know.
I've had,
Where...
I've
All right,
had
so
some-
on that topic, before we get to the random facts, I have kind of a funny story for you. So
Is it about putting poop in a juicer?
not even a little bit.
Damn it.
At a random location, which will remain undisclosed,
My bad.
there was a janitor that happened to know that happened to frequently eat people's leftovers out of the fridge at this particular facility, and said people happened to know that this was an ongoing situation, and so one day, knowing that this leftover cheese coney was going to be a very appetizing morsel, someone decided to take the cheese off of the top of the cheese coney and add a little .3 brake fluid to the cheese coney.
Ew.
and then place said cheese coney back into the refrigerator, and motherfucker janitor ate about 3/4 of that bastard. Never came back to work. I don't know any of the parties involved with that story, but I heard it was really funny.
I had a friend one time make a poo taco and do the same thing.
A poo taco?
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. They took the meat out and put some poo in it, and
Who, first of all,
Ew,
who
ew.
handles their own poo enough to feel comfortable to
Fuck.
make a taco?
I don't even have to say who it was who did it. You would know of my friends that did it.
Yeah, I'm probably pretty sure I know.
Former band member. That's all I
Oh,
can say.
no.
And you know exactly who it is.
Oh. Why would you do that? That's so bad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about some fun facts. Thomas Edison taught his second wife Morse code for the sole purpose of being able to tap on her hand when they were in the presence of her family.
That's pretty nifty. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's like 1901 sexting. You know what I mean? Like he's probably like tapping in there like. As soon
Of course,
as
you gotta bring it to the
these
sexting.
Motherfucker in-laws leave. I'm about to bend you over this table. And no, it's probably all elegant sexting. Like, my dearest Margaret, I'm gonna fucking rape your buddy. And you know what I mean? Like,
You think
all
that
proper
you think
things.
that they went with like long-styled old English sexting?
You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucked up. Like,
Pip,
you got
pip,
motherfuckers
cheerio.
like back then have a 6th grade education and they have like proper fucking English, fucking old text.
Oh.
Like, my dearest. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, like, what up, yo?
Oh
I mean,
my
like,
god!
these
Your
motherfuckers have
fucking, your fucking rendition. Give me your best rendition of a Thomas Edison Morse code tapping sex to his wife. Go now.
My dearest, beautiful Rose, you're like a lily in a winter field. I want to ravage your body. I want to make you moan like you never moaned before. I'm gonna smack you with my wee wee upside your forehead. I can't. It's
You know
hard
how
to-
long
that's
it would
like
take you to
fucking-
tap that in fucking Morse code? Motherfucker would be there all night to get that one sentence
What
out.
else they gonna do? They gotta fucking. I mean, the parents they wrote in from fucking, Maine or something. They're there for 2 days. I mean, he's probably talking like one whole big sexting for
It's
2
like-
days. You know?
Dude would sprain his finger just tapping on her palm, trying to get the message across.
I'm gonna
Who said
tap
he's
that
tapping
thing,
on her
you can
palm?
tap your palm.
Oh.
Fucking tagging her bean with it and shit. Like,
it's really just a warm up for later. That's the only reason you really taught her is just so you get warmed up for round 2 after the parents leave. Oh shit.
oh.
All right. Did you know falling coconuts kill more people every year than sharks?
You know that.
That is
Believe
a
it or not,
fact.
that's so fucked up.
That is some fucked up. Falling coconuts.
You ever been hit by a coconut?
No, I haven't. But I imagine, clearly it hurts, judging by the fact that it kills a lot of people.
Jimmy Snuka was hit by a coconut by Rowdy Piper back in the day. I bet he fucking knows that hurts.
What?
Some people know what I'm talking about.
What the fuck
out
are you?
there.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's
Like,
bringing
here's-
back 80s
I mean, I
wrestling.
know who
Yeah,
Jimmy Snuka
80s
is,
wrestling, brother.
He,
Brother.
brother.
Brian's gonna jump up and rip his sweatshirt off.
Yeah. Oh my god. You know. Next week, what's gonna happen is next week Brian's gonna show up. And he's gonna have all those wrestling, those
Tassels. Tassels.
the fucking stuffed buddies. You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, I had those when I
Oh
was a
shit!
kid.
I remember
The
those.
ones
I
you
had
would,
one.
They like.
I had
on the
macho-
commercial, they like encouraged you to like jump off of furniture and
Beat the
body
shit
slam
out of
these
them?
bitches into the
Yeah,
floor.
dude.
Here's one for women. Strategic incompetence is the art of avoiding certain tasks by pretending you don't know how to do them.
Oh fuck! I live by that clause.
Yeah.
Like, what
I
you
don't
need
know
me to do?
about
I don't-
women. That's pirates' work day.
Yeah, like what you need me to do? What?
I don't even know what that
haven't been trained
is.
for that properly. I don't know. And then when they still make you do it, fuck it up.
Yeah. I went through that this weekend.
And
My
then when
friend's
they
like,
still, he says, and then when they still make you do it, just fuck it up.
And then look at him and smile the whole time, like, look what I did.
Look, I did
It's
it
like
right.
building a model with no glue.
Look at-
Like, I thought this was a snap together, and hand him a bunch of pieces falling off of it and shit.
Oh, shit.
It's like, what I can do? I did good, didn't I? And then they see you're so hearted into it, and they're just like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you did good. You're never gonna do this
Good
again.
job. You're fucking never touching this again. And meanwhile, you're sitting back like,
Yeah.
played you, motherfucker. Check and mute, bitches.
Checkmate. God. Did you know malaria
my hero.
makes you smell better to mosquitoes?
What is it?
Malaria makes you smell better to mosquitoes, which makes them more likely to bite you again.
You know how miserable of a death that would be? Like, you're dying of malaria.
This
and you're
disease is
itching
fucking...
non-fucking stop.
Dude, this disease is far more advanced than most humans, I think. It makes the motherfucking victim smell better so that the mosquito will come bite them and then send that shit to more people.
This shit, yeah,
That is some scary shit.
That's like having a good poo taco, I think. It's the same concept.
And Decepticon
Yeah,
Pirate has joined us.
Transformers, more than meets the eyes.
Yeah, no shit.
Transformers
He's gonna
and-
get that fixed, and we'll continue this conversation. Can you believe that though? I mean, malaria actually makes you more enticing. So you get this disease from the mosquito in the first place, and then it makes you even more enticing to lure other mosquitoes in. It's almost like the disease knows what species is going to be transmitting it.
It's like marriage.
Okay, hold the fuck up.
He comes
All right, now
back
hold-
and it's like marriage.
Yo, you got to explain that one. You got to
It's like,
drop
you know-
some
Yeah.
knowledge on us real quick. How is malaria making you smell better mosquitoes like marriage?
It's like
Ready,
when
go.
when you're single, you got to work for it. You know what I mean? You can't get bit by a mosquito until you're dying, so you can't get all kinds of more. Like, as soon as you get married, everybody's like, "Oh, all the women want you." Not that I'm married, but I'm just saying.
So really, Pirate has no idea if this is true or not.
I got friends that it's happened to, man.
Here's a gross one. Tiny mites are having sex in your eyelashes
Right now,
right now.
they're bumping uglies, and
Yeah.
Oh, that's
literally
fucked up.
right in front of you, and you don't even see it.
And you don't
All
even
over.
know it. Oh, that's so messed up. Okay, the last thing.
And you know what's even crazier is they're asexual, so it's like a big crazy orgy,
That's gross.
big swingers party in your
What
eyelid.
That's gross.
That's kind of messed up.
They're busting mite loads all over your eyes.
Might loads.
All right, okay, I
It's
got
a mighty
all right,
load.
before we get to the last topic, I'm only going to ask this because I feel that it's very entertaining. Pirate, do you mind if we cover a bit of a story involving yourself and ex-girlfriend? And do you,
Just say yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Okay, I don't want to bring personal stuff into it unless it's like explicitly okay by said parties.
No, it's fine.
All right, so I'm going to tell this story to Brian because this is clearly the first time that he has ever heard this. Pirate has this ex-girlfriend who is a little on the out there side. We'll leave that at that, and you can make your own judgments.
Don't we all? But go on.
He wakes up in the middle of the night, and she's taking a selfie of the two of them. He's asleep, right? Mind you, all right? So he just wakes up as this is happening. She's taking a fucking selfie of her holding a motherfucking pirate sword to his neck.
Was it a fake or a real
No,
pirate
it's a real
sword?
motherfucking sword.
Real one.
What? Like...
Is that how you got the nickname Pirate?
No,
but that we could totally run with that.
That would be awesome.
We could totally. How messed up is that? I mean, how do you react to that? How do you react to that, Brian? You wake up and your ex-girlfriend that you're still kind of seeing a little bit on and off is taking a picture of you while you're sleeping with a motherfucking sword to your throat.
I don't know. Do I do the same thing to her the next time, except it's me farting on her mouth? do I grab the sword and make her walk the plank? I mean, who the fuck does that? I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's what I'm saying is like, how do you come out of that situation not just like completely baffled, like I don't even know what the hell just happened. Like this has to be some fucking fake shit. That's not even the craziest bit. That's not even I'll take you one step deeper into the motherfucking rabbit hole. There was another time he wakes up and she has placed her grandmother's dildo in his hand and is taking pictures of it.
Her grandmother's?
Yes! This raises so many questions on so many different aspects.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
I mean, just dig in here with me, Brian, for a moment, and let's just think this through for a second. Why does she have her grandmother's dildo?
Well,
why does her grandmother have a dildo?
What? Okay, one reason. Like this was her grandmother was in like hospice or whatever. Let me just give you a backstory so that way you don't think she's like got her fucking the Ultra Vive Pleasure 1901 in like in her possession. So.
It's like
is it one of those crank? Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those old ass railroad carts. It's got like two fucking dudes on either side, like pumping the thing back and forth, like building up the steam pressure so that it'll fucking.
It takes 3 people to operate this piece of equipment. I'm pretty sure it had a Still logo on the side of it. You know what I mean? Like,
get half the village involved to be able to enjoy yourself. You gotta like get them pushing a merry-go-round or some shit.
So she's at like she's house sitting for her grandmother who's like I said in hospice or whatever. She's on her last leg, and so she wanted me to, she was dog sitting, so she had me come over or whatever. I fall asleep on the chair watching TV or whatever, and I feel this thing on my hand. I'm like, what the fuck? And, like, I wake up, and it's just, like, fucking just, it was a dildo. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, she's all laughing. And I'm like, and I, like, get all pissed off. I'm like, whose is that? She's like, it's my grandma's. I just found it.
Tell me, did you flip out and just, like, throw it through the window or something?
No, I didn't want. Like, I would have to touch it again. I don't want to do that.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah, she's like, oh, no, it's clean. I washed it. That motherfucker probably been sitting in there since 1967.
Oh,
I mean, the last time that thing was out, probably the moon got landed
you
on.
imagine
But still,
you
you know?
imagine the smell on that thing.
I don't want to. I don't.
Brian's
want
thinking
to.
about it right now. Look at his facial
Dude.
expression.
I just don't.
I just think like it getting like turned on and sparks flying everywhere, looking like Frankenstein's laboratory and shit.
Just invented right after electricity. Motherfucker's like
Thomas
shooting-
Thomas Edison talked Morse code to his wife, and they came
That's
up
what
with
they
this
were talking about. He's like, I got this crazy woman. She wants to buy this electric penis device. He's like fucking tapping this shit into his second wife's hand.
She won't stop tapping my hand, telling me about this fucking contraption I need to invent. The bitch won't shut up. She keeps tapping on my hand all day long.
Some kind of electric powered penis. I don't even know what's going on right now.
She's seen a light bulb, and her next
Look at-
question was, "What can I do with that?"
Brian's facial expressions are just, fucking
Like,
priceless.
I wasn't sure if this was actually a dildo or if it was like a tool used for electroshock therapy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
it could have been either or.
God.
Just the fact that she probably didn't clean it before she put it in your hand.
She said she did, but she probably didn't.
Yeah, right. Because why? But she had to touch it too.
Brian looks adamantly upset about the situation that it
She
even
is a
happened to
she
anyone.
is like a germ freak, so she probably did clean it. So that makes me feel a little better.
But she
Still
had to have
fucked up,
touched
though.
it first.
Maybe she put some gloves on. I don't know. Or maybe she just didn't care.
Brian is totally fucking just.
Yeah, that's just like I would probably like.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know what to do. Throw it out of my hand. Throw it at her. Throw a punch. Just
Brian's like,
just
I don't know, but
fucking
something's getting thrown.
spear her. I don't want to kick. Like, I feel like all the grossness feels that I would feel at the moment would just supercharge my foot just to kick her, like, out the roof.
We do not condone
Kicking people.
violence
Yeah, we don't,
in
but,
any way,
like,
shape, or form.
I'm pretty sure that anybody listening to this right now would feel the same way I feel.
I'm pretty sure nobody's still listening to this right
If
now.
you're
I don't-
still listening to this, let us know how you would feel, because I'm interested to
Yeah,
find out.
please. Do you side with me? Do you
Drop a
not do
comment.
anything
Someone
and
would-
throw up? Do you, like... Do you just run away? I mean, what do you
That's what I did.
do?
I ran away. I
What
left.
do you do in this situation,
I smacked it out of my hands like and then I went home.
What he
Fuck
really
this.
did is he dropped it on the floor and he was like, ah! Like took off running and screaming like a little girl.
Yeah, there might have been a high pitched squeal or yell involved in that one.
Oh,
I was half awake when it happened, so I don't remember.
that's what I would have done. Shit.
I think I woke up halfway on the way home driving. So I was like, wow,
Jesus
is
Christ.
that a dildo or what was that?
What was that thing? All right. Well, that's about it for the nonsense this week. I'm Fox
I gotta go.
too.
I gotta go wash myself.
This is Pirate
See you guys.
and the whole effing Brian.
Yeah, I just don't have anything to say to you guys for goodbye.
Brian's like, you Ohio motherfuckers are crazy, dude.